So guys, the fullback of Manchester United has been an issue for a very long time. Ever since Ruben Amorim became the coach of Manchester United, this fullback issue has been what has hindered Manchester United a lot in attacking sequences and defensive sequences. And so in this tactical breakdown, we are going to be talking about how the fullbacks of Manchester United has been playing, how we are going to analyze the strengths and weaknesses of Diallo, Mazraoui, Patrick Dorgu, and all the fullbacks of Manchester United. So we are also going to be talking about how the right wing backs are supposed to play, the left wing back are supposed to play, and how they're supposed to be positionally on the pitch. But before we talk about and analyze the strengths and weaknesses of all the fullback options of Manchester United currently this season, we want to talk about the positional play of the fullbacks, how the fullbacks of Ruben Amorim was playing in Sporting CP and how they are playing in Manchester United currently. So guys, let's dive into this video together. So guys, when we are talking about the positions of the fullback on the pitch when Ruben Amorim was in Sporting CP, what the central backs were looking to do when we were on the ball is that they use the wing backs as decoy. So they use the positions of the wing back as decoy so that they can play those long balls into those hard spaces that the striker is going to run into. So what the wing backs do is that they don't play those simple passes into the wing backs. They use the wing backs as a decoy, and whenever the wing back hold very high positions on the pitch, the fullbacks of the opposition team are going to also press high to try to match up the positions of the wing backs. And so when the opposition fullbacks does that, it is going to leave a lot of spaces for the central backs to play those long passes in behind for the striker to run the channel. And there are also some situations whereby they are not going to play those long balls into those channels for the strikers to run in behind. There are also going to be situations whereby the central backs are going to use the wing backs as decoy so that those any pocket spaces are going to be opened in the middle, because the opposition team are going to be focusing on trying to stop the wing backs from receiving the ball, which is going to give a lot of room to the central backs to play those passes into the middle of the pitch, and those easy passes that is going to make the midfielders be able to turn it into attacking transitions. But you're going to find out that in Manchester United, especially last season, it was very hard for the fullbacks. They did not know the position they were playing. They did not know how to hold the weight. They did not know how to hold high or low positions in different situations in the games. So it was very, very hard for Manchester United to be able to play out from the back. Most of the times it was very easy for the opposition team to squeeze Manchester United a particular segment of the pitch. But when Ruben Amorim was in Sporting CP, it was very easy for his fullback to carry this role because they hold very high positions. They actually help in spreading the opposition to give the room for the central backs to play those tiny passes. And even when the goalkeeper has the ball and has this option of playing those long passes to the fullbacks, he uses the fullbacks as decoy and plays the ball into the press instead. So this was how the fullback was helping the first phase of play when Ruben Amorim was in Sporting CP. But in terms of Manchester United, it is very hard because we don't have those press resistant midfielders, those midfielders that can be able to receive the ball under pressure. So it is hard to use the wing backs as decoy and to play into the midfielders because you know that it is going to be hard for them to utilize the ball. So what the goalkeepers and the central backs of Manchester United look to do most of the times is that they actually look to do those simple passes into the wing backs, and it is very, very bad for Manchester United because it becomes very easier for the opposition team or the opposition players to be able to squeeze Manchester United on the touchline and win the ball quickly as much as possible. So guys, you have seen how the wing backs of Manchester United should be able to affect the first phase of Manchester United. So guys, let's compare the positional discipline of Amorim's wing backs in Sporting CP versus in Manchester United. And we are going to be starting in Sporting CP. When Amorim was in Sporting CP, what the wing backs were looking to do is that they were looking to hold a very disciplined position at the midfield position. And so there's a specific reason for them to hold a very high position in the midfield area. And so what is that reason? The reason is that it's going to cause the opposition fullbacks to be able to press high, to be able to try to match up, and it's going to leave a lot of spaces in behind for strikers and for the number 10s to be able to make that runs in behind. And there are also situations whereby if the fullback of the opposition team refuses to press, it is going to cause our fullback to have a lot of spaces to run in behind it. In the Sporting CP, a lot of time, the fullbacks in a situation whereby the coaches of the opposition team refuses to press high, refuses to press the wing backs of Amorim very high, it is going to leave the wing backs with a lot of room to control the ball. It's going to give them a lot of room to operate in attacking areas for them to be able to attack also operate in midfield areas to have a lot of spaces to think, to know what their next move is going to be. And it has really happened in most of the games in Manchester United this season, where the opposition fullbacks has refused to press. So it has given the fullback of Manchester United a lot of time to operate on the ball, and it's also happened in Sporting CP. And also there are also situations whereby the wing backs are going to drift into the midfield, and if the wing backs drift into the midfield, just like Sporting CP versus Manchester City, Quenda drifted into the midfield, which caused Gavardio to go out of position, and Kanji adjusted, the central back of Pep Guardiola's team adjusted to cover that space that has been evacuated by Gavardio, and so Akanji moved into that space to cover up for Gavardio, and Quenda slotted the ball in for Victor Gyökeres to run the width. So in Manchester United this season so far, in our 5 games, we are beginning to see a replicate pattern of how Ruben Amorim has been playing in Sporting, and how the fullbacks are supposed to operate. We are beginning to see a replicate pattern, because especially in the Arsenal game, Manchester United, we are constantly moving Calafiori and Gabriel away from their position, Brian Mbeumo and Amadiola in the wing-back position, and also when Diego Dalot was in the game, they were making Gabriel and Calafiori to move away from their position. They were making them to take up positions that they would not take ordinarily, and that really made that defensive shape to be ordered. And also in the Chelsea game, Nusaya Mazraoui took up a very disciplined position in the midfield area that caused Cucurella to press him higher, make him not be able to turn. And also in the situation whereby Cucurella refused to press Nusaya Mazraoui, he gave Mazraoui a lot of time on the ball, giving a lot of time to think, to know what his next move is going to be. So when it comes to the positional play of how Manchester United wing backs are supposed to play, we are beginning to see that replicate pattern. Ruben Amorim is beginning to implement that positional play his wing backs were having in Sporting CP, and he's beginning to implement same positional play in Manchester United, whereby in the case whereby the wing backs don't take up high positions, they might enter into the midfield, or they might make complementary movements. The wing backs and the number 10 might make complementary movements to create a lot of spaces in behind for them to operate. So this is how Ruben Amorim and Manchester United has been able to revolutionize their positional play, and the wing backs of Manchester United are beginning to understand what is demanded of them positionally on occasions during games. So guys, since we have analyzed the positional play of Ruben Amorim in Manchester United and in Sporting CP, and we are seeing that this pattern is beginning to come into alliance, let's actually analyze what is really required of a fullback in the 3-4-3 system. Definitely when you are playing as a fullback in the 3-4-3 system, you need to be very solid defensively, because you need to make a lot of tackles, you need to make a lot of interception, and also you need to possess a lot of stamina and strength, because you're being tasked to make a lot of recovery runs. You are being tasked to move up and down the pitch at every station and every segment of the game. So this is something that you don't really choose to play wing back position if you don't really have the strength to, because you need to do a lot. And then when it comes to attacking wise, you need to be able to contribute optimally. When it comes to attacking support, you need to be able to know how to dribble effectively, know how to penetrate the opposition box. You need to know how to also invert into the midfield, like I just explained in our last clip. You need to be also very versatile. You need to be able to occupy different positions during different segments of the game. You need to play a lot of crosses, a lot of key passes. You need to be very good when it comes to the attacking composition. But you're going to find out that these characteristics that I just mentioned is not what the current fullbacks of Manchester United possesses. Some of the players has this attacking ability to hunt opposition team down, but they don't have this defensive quality. While some have the defensive quality and don't have the attacking quality, while some don't even have any quality at all to start with. So this is definitely one of the issues of Manchester United when it comes to our wing back play. So guys, let's analyze all the players that Manchester United have in this wing back position, and then we are going to choose the best pair of the wing back position for Manchester United. So guys, let's analyze our current options. Starting with Diego Dalot, you're going to find out that Diego Dalot has been very inconsistent for Manchester United in the past 2 years. He has been giving a lot of reckless performances, a lot of bad performances, below par performances. So this is definitely a player that you cannot rely on. He's very inconsistent both in attacking and in defensive phases. Though he has his glimpse, he has showed us that he has the potential to be a very good fullback or a wing back, but he has not really showed that in the wing back position, as he has been very inconsistent for Manchester United. So if you want to talk about Mazraoui, his versatility is a strength because he can play as a fullback, as a wing back. He can play more centrally. He can play as a midfielder. He's a very good player. When it comes to defensively, he's very solid. He can be able to get the job done regardless of the opponent that Manchester United chooses to face or Manchester United faces. Mazraoui is the player that is very good when it comes to defensive situations. But attacking wise, Mazraoui is not the best player because he's not consistent with his crosses. He's not consistent in dribbles. He's not consistent in making those key passes, those line breaking passes that can be able to split up opposition team. And then going over to Amad Diallo, you're going to find out that Amad Diallo is traditionally he's a winger or he's a wide player. So when it comes to attack, his attacking instinct is very strong, as he's very good in dribbles, he's very good in very high penetration. He can make those line breaking passes. But defensively, Amad Diallo is not the best player defensively, as when he's faced against or when he's been given the opportunity to mark PC wingers like Jeremy Deco in Manchester City, he's going to really struggle because he doesn't have that defensive prowess. He doesn't have that positional discipline on the pitch defensively to be able to overcome these kind of wingers. And then when you want to talk about our fourth option in the wing back position, which is Patrick Dorgu, you're going to find out that Patrick Dorgu is a very wonderful potential. He's a monster off the ball. He has this ability to move up the pitch and down the pitch. He has a very great recovery runs. He can sprint very well. He has a very good strength. He has this ability to shoot. But one of the problem of Patrick Dorgu is that he's still a very raw player, because both defensively and attacking wise he's very raw. Defensively, he's a player that can be able to give much defensively. He has this potential to develop because he knows how to mark. He has a lot of pace to recover. Attacking wise, that is his most weakest strength in Manchester United, because he's very inconsistent when it comes to attacking wise, because he cannot score consistently, he cannot create assists consistently, he doesn't cross consistently. And for it to be a wing back under Ruben Amorim system, you're going to find out that you need to possess both the attacking quality and the defensive quality. You need to be consistent in these two phases. You need to be really good when it comes to playing as a wing back for Ruben Amorim. This is what is going to make this pattern of Ruben Amorim to be fully implemented in Manchester United, and this is one of the reasons Manchester United has struggled in a lot of games when it comes to build up, because the players we have in those positions are not players that are very consistent. They can be good in this match and be bad in the next game. So this is one of the issues that Manchester United has been facing in this wing back position. And the great questions and the reason for this video is that who is going to be the best player for Manchester United when it comes to the fullback position? Let's find out. So guys, in a lot of games this season, we have seen Mazraoui and Dorgu. Ever since Mazraoui came back from injury, him and Patrick Dorgu has been our wing back pair, and they have really done a very decent job. Apart from the Manchester City game, they have been very decent for Manchester United. But you're going to find out that they are not the best pairing, and they are not the best solution to how Ruben Amorim wants to play in the first phase, how he wants to play in the final phase, and in the middle phase. So Manchester United needs to sort out this fullback position. And when you want defensive solidity on the right side of the pitch and attacking threats on the left side of the pitch, definitely you have to go with Mazraoui and Dorgu on the right and the left hand side respectively. But you're going to find out that this is not the best pairing. So ideally for Manchester United, I would like Manchester United to play more of Dorgu and Amad on the both wing positions, because they are going to be receiving the ball with their back to go, with their stronger foot, with their original foot. So this is going to help them to turn very swiftly. This is going to cause them to play with a lot of confidence, because they are playing in a position that they are comfortable in. But one thing you need to notice with this 3-4-3 system is that every opposition team have a way they want to hunt Manchester United when it comes to the first, second and third phase. So I feel that the wing back position of Manchester United is not going to be constant. It's a position that is going to change constantly depending on the opposition Manchester United is going to face. So this position is going to be changed simultaneously until Manchester United have the permanent solutions for this particular positions. So this is my stand on the fullback pairing. For me, the best fullback pairing I would want to see for Manchester United is going to be Patrick Dorgu and Amad Diallo, because Mazraoui, he has had his best game for Manchester United playing in the right central back position and not in the right wing back position, because he's not going to be giving Manchester United the right attacking input, because most of the times Mazraoui fails to make those overlapping runs. Most of the times he fails to beat his man one-on-one. Most of the time he fails to give the right crosses. And even though Ahmad also has been very inconsistent this season, I just feel personally that Dorgu and Ahmad is going to give us the right balance on both sides of the pitch. So I want you guys to give me your thoughts on the comment section on the best fullback pairing that you want to see for Manchester United this season. I want you guys to like, to share, to subscribe to Tactical Trafford, as we'll be seeing a lot of videos on Manchester United this season. So see you guys in my next video. Ciao.